That journey was an after-school club, drama after-school club, when I was in like primary school, and then choosing all the drama subjects at secondary school. And then the clincher was in sixth form, asking if I could direct a play. So I directed a play with my classmates. Throughout university, I directed, and I met this guy through a direct action project who said, "Oh, you want to be a director? I actually heard that Birkbeck's got the most brilliant directing course in the country," and I'd never heard of Birkbeck. I thought that Birkbeck was a kind of night school for adults. And I applied and I got on, and then off the back of that, I went into doing well-paid assistant jobs that would then subsidise me making work on the fringe for free. And I feel like that's where I cut my teeth, was a kind of above pubs. I still am cutting my teeth. I think you always cut your teeth, you're always learning, right? Selfishly, part of the reason why I'm interested in new writing is because I love working with alive people. I want to go to war with people who are alive rather than dead, and quite often putting on a production does feel like you're going to war, like you are, you're conceiving like a god, executing like a soldier. I love that I get to do that with someone who's alive and kicking, and whose work is responding and reacting to what's going on now. I think good directors are people that are brave about getting it wrong. So for me, a lot of the rehearsal process is working out what it isn't, more than necessarily working out what it is. And realising that your actors are your best resource, and that quite often their ideas will be better than yours. And as a director, it's can you spot the clearest, most engaging idea, rather than necessarily having to come up with it yourself and then push everyone around to deliver that. For me, that is what makes a successful director. In terms of like practical, concrete advice about how you get into directing, without going and doing like some shiny 10 grand degree thing, I think it's about having a go. So there are lots of fringe theatres that do short new writing play nights. I know that 503 does one, I know that Southwark Playhouse do one, Arcola I think does one. Lyric, if you're under 25, do loads of scratch nights. They also do Evolution Festival. The Young Vic has a sort of online hub, Directors Network, and they send out loads of opportunities, and they do loads of workshops. Spotlight are obviously doing workshops. So those would be like my practical places to tap into, to having a go at directing like a 10-minute short. And I also think something that I did when I just come out of university was I just got a group of other people together and said, can I direct you for a bit in my living room, and have a go at it. So I think that a lot of stuff can just happen in your living room when you're trying stuff out. People with imagination, actors who aren't afraid of giving something a go and getting it wrong, actors who ask questions. I have always been interested in people that are interested rather than interesting, and I think that a lot of that is about the quality of question that you're asking as an actor. I recently directed in New York, and I couldn't believe the difference in culture, where actors are very used to being bossed around, and it made me miss British actors who will boss you around. So those are kind of actors that I'm interested in working with. Devising can start anywhere and can be made by anyone, and I don't think there's a right way of devising, but I think one of a good way to start a devising process so you don't get devising block, which is a thing, is through game playing. And quite often when you're just like getting up on your feet and you're improvising and you're playing games, quite often a tiny little golden strand will come out, and you can start following that, and you might follow that and realise that idea doesn't have any legs, and then you have to go somewhere else. Quite often when you're devising, you sort of need to sleep on it a bit. So some of the best ideas that I feel like make it into a devising process are quite often like the ideas that just stay with you overnight. And it can be a slow burner process. I think you can construct something over a couple of years if you need to or want to. I think this industry runs on coffees, historical coffees, and quite often some of my jobs have come from a coffee that I had 5 years ago. It's very hard. If you just directly email someone and say, I'd really like to have a cup of tea with you, can I buy you a cup of tea? I really want to pick your brains for 20 minutes, you have to be like either really busy or not very nice to turn that down. And I think that sometimes having cups of tea with people who you authentically connect with, like the work of, could be useful to you, are an industry gatekeeper, can pay off and sow the seeds in the future. Don't be scared or snobbish about working horizontally. And actually, some of the best work I've made is with people my age, and some of the people who are doing really interesting stuff were people that I did stuff with above a pub 6 years ago, and they've become my network and my peers and people that really inspire me. And I think don't underestimate the value of just sitting down and getting to know someone who is your age or at your stage. That's it. Coffees and horizontal networking. That's my advice.